I don't know how many of you have heard the question, you play music, but what do you do? It's, I think that kind of sums up how artists are perceived, and it's not just India, it's everywhere in the world. We're seen as kind of a luxury. Oh, how fun, you made your work out of your hobby. Isn't that wonderful? So I think the first point is the status of artists is reflected in the way they are respected in society. And I think in India they're doing a pretty good job if I, for instance, compare it to my country, where everything needs to be expressed in terms of earnings. The question in the Netherlands would be, oh, you're an artist, can you make a living? That is the ultimate thing. Now when we go back, employment is an important part, and I think in both of your stories we found that education, arts education, in whatever form or shape, is a recurring theme. Whether we go into the rural areas, how do we create next generations of beautiful art forms? I worked with Tata Steel in Orissa, and we came across a lot of folk musicians. Some of them, I remember two of them specifically, they had become teachers in a village school because they were not able to perform their art anymore. So what I did, the school where we had the music education program, I met them go there, teach music, teach their artistry. These are very simple solutions in music education. Now, specifically for musicians, our sources of income, of course, performance. Recording used to be a source of income. No more. If you're on Spotify, you get 5 paisa per download. You will not become a millionaire unless you're Taylor Swift or a big name in Bollywood. And even then, it's not made for artists, it's made for corporations, these platforms. So what have artists done? I think every artist has become an educator at all the different levels. Whether you run your own online music school, whether you run your own at home, students come, or online. Now we're talking here about music instruction, an extension of the Guru Shishya Parampara, where you teach your artistry either in a small group or a one-on-one. We can all agree that unless you're born in that environment, it is difficult to teach the children under the age of 10. Unfortunately, in music and arts educational terms, we have missed the boat by that age, because you will not connect them at that deep level with especially the more demanding classical arts. So what we have done is we've especially addressed the younger age group in schools to create a future serious students. That's not an easy thing, because now if we come to the status of music teachers and arts teachers in schools, I went into one of the very well-known South Delhi schools where we had implemented our program, and I did the classroom observation. I'm just a fly on the wall and see what the music teacher does. Kids were not behaving well, that's an understatement, and at some point I could not take it anymore. So the little boy next to me, I asked, why are you behaving like this? Be respectful to your teacher. And this boy said, that's not a teacher, that's just music, sir. I think that is the best synopsis I've ever heard of the status of artists in schools. And the reason for that, I feel, is manifold. First of all, We're sending in artists, performing artists, to teach 5-year-olds. Would you send Ruskin Bond without giving him a curriculum, without giving him any resources or books? Oh, you write so nicely for children. Why don't you teach them English? Why don't you do that? And somehow, artists of the highest performing levels are expected to be able to create curricula, to compose complete shows, to what else is the entire job description of these people? It is unrealistic and unfair expectations that is put up on them.